meditation
Yes.
is always jumping around my mind, and then I try to go back to my breathing and jumping around and try to focus on the sound. So how can I feel that, or if I continue doing this, how can I know that I'm improving at meditation? That I suppose, what is the direction that when I practice, which direction I should focus on, or how to feel that I'm improving every meditation, something like that, because I'm a little bit lost.
Yes. Okay, so what you're saying, can I just reframe what you've just said to me?
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that you're in meditation, you're having, the experience is going okay, you're aware of the breath, you're on the right track, or what you're feeling like, this is all happening. And then the stream of thoughts comes in and interrupts that flow that you were having. Is that correct?
Jumping in.
It jumps in and out. Right, so the distractions are there, and then they go on. And then what happens after the distractions?
I suppose absorb it, right? But no, I don't know.
Yes. Okay, so now, thank you, Autumn, so much. No, it's okay. We'll get her there. We'll get her to your classes. Don't worry. Look, she's in herself. She's hooked. She just heard that word and she's over there. She's going to start climbing trees with you.
Just said that I cannot finish this.
That's
so
okay.
sorry.
You came for 4 weeks in a row, and I'm so appreciative of your support. It's really meant a lot. And I look forward to drumming with you in August.
Yeah, very happy.
Moving.
I gained a lot
and
as well.
moving with you.
Yeah.
Drumming and moving together.
Thank
Okay.
you so much for your lovely course. And everybody,
Take care.
I'll see you maybe next week, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Take care.
She's always.
Bye. Okay. Yeah, so that jumping in and out. But okay, so I'll respond to that and say, first of all, that's a great question, because you know what? The good news is that you're not alone, and that's really common in meditation. It's how we respond to the jumping in and out. Okay, so everything is about, okay, this is happening, but now how am I responding to what is happening? So I guess I'd like to ask you, when you're in meditation and you're having those nice moments, and then those thoughts jump in, what do you do? How do you respond?
I aware it, and then I try to go back to the track. For example, I want to feel meditation. I want to feel my breath, and then I want to focus on the feeling, and then suddenly one memory happened. I suddenly, just now I feel my son was crying, and then he doesn't want to wear the wet pants. Suddenly have this kind of thought coming, and I feel like it's nothing to do with what my meditation go away. So I go back, continue to do the thing I want to focus.
Okay, so you bring yourself back to the anchor, right?
Go back.
And that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's absolutely perfect, that you bring yourself back to the anchor. So were you doing that 4 weeks ago? Were you doing that 4 weeks ago?
I didn't practice 4 weeks ago.
And now you're doing that.
Yeah.
So, yay! That's progress, okay? But what I would like to add, though, is a recommendation, is the next time your son jumps in there with the nappy and, doesn't want to put the pants on, or is upset, or any other distraction that comes into your mind, if you can just try to be with it. Like we were talking about, can I be with this? So see it. It's like a movie, those distractions, almost if you could look at them like a movie, like, oh, there it is. Here's my son, and he's having one of those struggles. And I'm closing my eyes, I'm in my meditation, I'm just gonna keep breathing, go back to the anchor, I see him, I notice him, and maybe even we talked about metta today, I'm gonna send him some loving kindness. Just tuck a little bit of metta in, just tuck a little bit of that loving kindness practice in. Okay, I see you, may you be happy, may you be well. I'm just gonna, and then just go back to the breath. That's one way Okay, that's one idea. Do you think you could give that a try?
Yeah, I think so. If now I go back to that part, I realize that moment I didn't handle very well, because when he started to melt down, I closed myself, and I didn't connect it to him, and I didn't put enough feeling his feelings. So then now I'm looking back, because I think after a few days, like, oh, this time what I should do, you know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we want the kid to do the way that I want to, but actually that moment I should listen to him what he feels. So I think because this moment it bothered me for a while, and then it come back. Now I look deeper, it's like, oh, I feel bad that I didn't do it. It's a bit guilty, but I should let it go. Maybe that guilty bring me back to that moment, and now I tell myself, don't feel guilty. You know what to do next time. Like giving the self-love for myself. Let it go.
Yeah, that's wonderful. See, that's
something like that.
And that is perfect. It's that idea of, not reacting, giving the self-love. So in Buddhism and in mindfulness practices, they call that the second arrow. So the first arrow is the memory that comes in, a feeling of pain, any of these things that happen to the mind or the body. And the second arrow is how we then respond to it.
I feel guilty.
Yeah,
And
that's
then I tell myself,
your second
don't
arrow,
feel
isn't it?
guilty, and just let it go.
Yes.
Practice let it
There's so much in what you're saying, actually, because first of all, it's the thoughts that are coming and going and interrupting. And then it's the story that comes in. So the thought comes in, and then there's a story that follows on from that thought. And the thought is what you should have done better. So remember we talked about mindfulness of feelings last week. Mindfulness of emotions.
Okay.
So what's that feeling that she had? Can you label that feeling?
Judgment.
Judge?
Judging.
You felt shame?
Judging, like guilty.
Guilty.
Yeah.
What I heard was guilty, that you felt guilty.
Yeah.
Like the way you responded, you felt guilty.
Yeah.
How many times as parents do we carry guilt?
Yeah, I know.
Like, why did I say that? Why did I say it in that way? Oh my gosh, I was so busy. I didn't mean to. I should have said it this way. I hurt his feelings, and then we sort of, and that's so much of what you're saying. That's the inner critic that we talked about before. Wow, you had so much happening in your movie, so of course you want to go back to the breath, don't you? It's like, I don't want the judge, I don't want the guilt, I don't want the shame, I don't want any of these things that's happening.
Yeah.
But can I be with it? Can I be with all of it? You can have a meditation where you come out of that meditation and you've heard yourself. You've heard guilt.
Fears.
You felt the fear.
Yeah.
Like, remember we talked about some people can't even feel emotions. But you were feeling the emotions and you're labeling them. And that's mindfulness. So you're practicing. So you're there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and you're gonna just keep getting there.
Yes.
And you're gonna keep doing that.
Getting better direction.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Questions? Another word?
Okay, so students often ask, like, when we talk about meditation, so there are these phrases that we have to just to repeat. So it's oftentimes we don't feel anything, and when we say those, we feel mechanical. So when we feel these words, just doesn't mean anything for us. So it just seems like you're blindly just uttering these words. So yeah. So what would you suggest?
Okay.
To
That's a wonderful question again. So you're asking me basically with meditation, and your students are saying those phrases, but how do you help people understand to actually feel what they are saying rather than just saying the words? Correct? Is that basically? How can you explain to them how to feel? the words and mean
The
it.
student wants to know how can they really feel it.
How can they really feel it? Okay, that's good. How can they really feel it? All right, let's go back, Bruce, if it's okay, to some of those words that are on that little thing. Let's go back. And that's why sometimes the visuals are nice. There we go. So, may all beings be peaceful. All right, so who's visual here? Who's a visual? I'm definitely visual. So a lot of us are visual people. May all beings be peaceful. When I say may all beings be peaceful, or when you say it, what do you think? What do you see in your mind?
Peaceful.
What do you see?
Peace. Calm.
Do you see the
Relax.
word, or do you?
I see people's face.